Hi, howdy everybody, and welcome to another video brought to you by me, Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters? Who's bad? Without cheating, who is it? Who is he? Or her? Or it? Or what? Today we are going to take a peek at this General Electric. Yes, I know it's all up in your face and everything. This is a GE model number 7-2877. And my rendition is H is in hotel. And today what we're going to do is do a quick overview of the radio and general servicing. You'll find that 99% of what I do is just that, general servicing. I don't really have a lot of stuff that's necessarily broken and needs major overhaul repair. Well, I got a couple of things I know I do. I just haven't got to them yet. All in time, I would imagine. This radio came out in 1975, and depending on where you bought it, you would have paid anywhere from $25 all the way to a staggering $30. This design of this radio has actually been around since the late 50s and lasted all the way into the 80s. However, the 80s version of this went hardcore. They went plastic, black, and I'm not sure what happened to it thereafter. Probably petered out just like everything else. But it had a fantastic run. My example here is AM and FM. I know they've made this radio in multiple flavors. They've made them in AM only, AM FM, AM shortwave, FM, and VHF. And I believe that's it. I don't think they did an AM/FM shortwave, but I could be completely wrong because I do not know the entire catalog. Just on my research of this radio is how I conclude all that information and junk. So I thought I'd pass it on to you. So now you have some information and junk. This radio is a General Electric, but you'll probably find this radio badged by every other radio manufacturer. I would imagine it was produced by the same manufacturer and just rebadged for everybody else's needs. But I cannot say that with any kind of certainty. I just suspect that that is a factual and true statement because I said it. There you go. Some of you have this radio, some of you don't. Some of you are familiar with this radio and others could really care less. Looking at this radio here on the front side, we all of a sudden dawned on me, I don't have a pointer. So let me use tube of solder paste for a pointer. That's kind of cool, huh? We have our silk screening here on the window, your AM and FM, AFC, and then we have our log going straight down the middle. This model is solid state, as it says so right here. I think the earlier versions may have been tube type, but I could be completely wrong on that. This one here has a little window that tells you whether or not you're on AM or FM. Then down the center here we have our General Electric badge, big speaker, and another little badge down here that says two-way power. What's that? You want me to bump you in so you can see closer? Okay, we could do that. Stand by. Your silk screening. How lovely. Your, I don't know, I keep saying yours. It's probably not yours. I think this is mine. General Electric, and then our AM and FM indicator. We have this really big, massive speaker here. I'm going to say it's probably a 16-inch powered subwoofer at about 3,000 watts or thereabout. And there's our fantastic badge. It does say exactly as I advised you. Two-way power. See, so you could, I'm not fibbing to you, honestly. On the top here we have a fantastic carrying handle. We've got two lugs on either side, metal lugs. The material on this, I would have swore was leather. However, the advertisements say it's vinyl. So it has me a little perplexed. On this side we have our band selector switch, AM/FM, our tuning knob, and our volume on-off control. On this side we have our aerial, that does have a ball mount down here, and it unsnaps from here. So I guess if you wanted to lay it on its side, then you could have the antenna erect as opposed to having it erect this way. And then we have our earpiece. And you know, this is groundbreaking because this is 80 to 1. So 1975, 2018 has nothing on it. 2018 is what, 7 to 1 still? I don't know. I'm goofing. That's actually mono. What's that? You want to see the snap in action? There you go. Really exciting, I know.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember how an intern.
And that's it. That's all it do. The aerial is not too terribly long, but long enough to, I guess, get the job done. Those of you that have been around since the 90s will recognize this reference.
Made me quiver with a yelp. I deliver
this shaft,
rumors on the doorstep.
We'll call this Bill Clinton.
Dare that little horse slip. Now they all say
there you go.
That I lied.
That image is ingrained in your brain for the rest of your life now, and in this video. Here's a fantastic view of the backside, wide shot. We have our label right here, which declares the model number, serial number. We have the guts of the radio, a nice long rod, and nice coil for AM. Our tuning caps, IF stage, a bunch of other junk in there. And for those that were jonesing, there's what the label looks like. As stated, this is a AC/DC radio, which means that's the only kind of music it plays, is AC/DC. And that's fine with me. AC/DC is kind of cool. Right here on the back is where the 4-cell, 4 AA batteries went. My model, it was corroded on the terminal side, and as I went to clean it, it just kind of fell apart. I soldered on another end, because that also was all corroded, and put some heat shrink tubing on there. I really don't like this. I'm going to come back another day and fix all that. I've had this radio for some time, and all I've done to it besides listen to it was clean, probably want to look at something other than the battery terminal. All I've done was clean the switches and the button. That's all I've done to it. I have been listening to this radio for the past 5 or 6 days now, continuous, and during this time, the tuning control has just become really, really hard. It's like whatever grease is in there has turned into cement. Now, like I said, I've cleaned the, I do believe I've cleaned the switch. Nope, I lied. I didn't. And the reason I didn't do that is I didn't tear the board out. Because at the time, I don't think I was quite savvy on how to tear the board out. So I think I just left it alone. I may have cleaned that switch. I don't know. And that's what we're going to do next on this radio. I think this introduction has gone on a little bit too long. We'll do a quick band scan. And then in part 2, we'll go ahead and start ripping and tearing and tweaking and peeking and see what happens. The performance on the radio is okay. It's average. It's nothing too spectacular. Oh, one other thing, sidetracked. The AC cord on this thing is extremely large. This radio has a back panel that I think I took off and set aside and not sure where I put it. Honestly, I have no idea how you get the battery pack and the cord shoved in the hole. There's just no way. In fact, when I got this, this back panel was actually bulging out. I just don't understand how they got it in the hole. Because like I said, there's black plastic that went over here, and this hole was covered up some more, so you didn't have quite as much room as you do in there now. What's that? You want to see what I'm pointing to? There. So if we take this wad of wire, try to shove it in there, you can see I can get that in okay, but now imagine the battery pack here closing. Just not going to happen. Or I don't know how it happened, but it did. I wanted to do a band scan with you to show you the performance for a before, but this tuning knob is absolutely crazy. I mean, I cannot spin that. I mean, that's it. That is, like I said, it's like old grease just turned into cement. It is extremely hard. So let's bypass the band scan and let's go ahead and end this part 1 here. It's gone on too long, and we'll pick it up in part 2. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you there.